Trump lands the most historic peace deal in modern history. But the question is, what exactly is in this deal? Because Iran claims this is a total victory, and Trump claims it's a total victory. Iran says they're getting everything they want and more, even $300 billion. Trump says they're not getting a penny, and we're getting 99.9% of everything we wanted. So what is actually going on here? When are gas prices going to go down? Is Israel going to sabotage this? And why is everyone so happy with this deal when the deal is not even publicly available yet? I'm going to answer all these questions and more in today's episode, Peter's Political Perspective. Stick around because this is a very exciting episode. Now, the media has been a buzz right now talking about this Iran deal. Not because it's the most historic peace deal in modern history, which it is. It's mainly because Iran is making a lot of claims of what they say they're getting, which are in complete contradiction to exactly what Trump claims he's getting in the deal. For example, Trump says in this deal that the Strait of Hormuz is immediately going to be open, toll-free, permanently for everyone forever. In other words, we dominated the Strait of Hormuz, we took control of it, and we opened up for everyone. It's free for everyone. Iran, on the other hand, claims that this deal hands the whole Strait of Hormuz into the control of Iran and Oman, who are going to control it together, but mostly Iran. And not only that Iran can impose fees, aka tolls. It's the same thing, just different word, fees, tolls, whatever. And that they're going to control the Strait of Hormuz. And Trump is just letting them control it. They've just given up. That completely contradicts everything Trump said what was in the deal. But they claim that's in the deal, right? What else contradicts? The naval blockade. Iran says the naval blockade is going to be removed immediately after they sign this peace deal on June 19th. Trump says, hold on. We're going to take away this naval blockade over the course of 30 days only if Iran behaves good and does everything we say, talks to us, demines the Strait of Hormuz, stops attacking ships, stops attacking Israel and all those other things. Then and only then, if those conditions are met, we will slowly start removing the naval blockade. So Iran says they're going to do it immediately upon signing. Trump says, hold up, it's conditional and it's over the course of 30 days. What about money? This one's big. Iran claims they're going to get the $23 billion that was taken out of their bank accounts given back to them. They're going to get sanction relief. The naval blockade's going to be open, so they can literally sell oil to anyone. And they're going to get $300 billion in reconstruction funds to build up their economy. And this is the main thing that Iran is running around. The media is prancing around in Iran saying, look, we got a major deal. Not only do we control the strait and the naval blockade has been lifted, we also are going to get $300 billion on top of all our money back. So this is a major, major success. This is how it's being portrayed by Iran to the Iranian people, and they're doing this huge parade. Oh, it's amazing. We got all this great stuff. But Trump says they're not getting a single penny from us. That completely contradicts the $300 billion. And I'm going to answer that in a few minutes because the $300 billion reconstruction fund, there's a grain of truth to that statement, but it's not what you think. But I'll get into that in a minute. The war ending in Lebanon. Iran claims that in this deal, Israel cannot attack Lebanon or Hezbollah anymore. Not at all. Not at all. That is over. And so Iran is literally going around like, look, we protected our ally because we're so tough. See, the axis of resistance work. We're so tough that we even got United States and Israel to both stop attacking Lebanon and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, whatever. That's not what's happening. According to Trump, what's actually happening is in the deal, he says that there'll be no more war in Lebanon. But he didn't specify Israel specifically. And in fact, Israel, specifically Bibi Netanyahu, has said, we're not part of the deal, and we're not going to be held to a deal we're literally not part of. So Iran's claiming there'll be no more attacks in Lebanon at all in this deal, guaranteed. Trump's saying, well, there's going to be no more war in Lebanon in general. I hope Israel stops. And Israel's going ahead and saying like, hey, keep us out of it. We're not part of this deal. We weren't invited to help make this deal, and our names, Israel shouldn't even be in the deal because you can't hold us to a deal that we're not even a part of, right? So Israel is completely contradicting what Iran said, that there'll be no more attacks in Lebanon. Israel's like, if we get attacked, we're going to attack back. period. So that's a complete contradiction. And the big one, nuclear. This one's huge because Iran is literally going around saying that we got everything we wanted. We got the naval blockade removed. We're going to get all our money back. We're going to get a $3 billion reconstruction fund. And with the nuclear stuff, we didn't even commit to anything with nuclear. We didn't commit to anything. All we said is we'll talk about it later, but we've given no major concessions on nuclear at all. Zero. We promised nothing. Trump says the complete opposite of that they promise not only to never have a nuclear weapon, never make one, never buy one, never acquire one in any shape or form whatsoever. And that the deal, after it's signed on June 19th, Trump says there will be talks over the next 60 days on how to implement that process where they denuclearize, make sure that the uranium is given back to the United States and all that stuff, that they're going to be talking about it after the deal. Iran's like, no, we just said we're talking about it. No promises, no guarantees. Trump says the promise pretty much guaranteed in this deal, no nuclear weapon ever. These are in complete contradiction with each other. So what exactly is going on here? Why is it that the United States, specifically Trump, is framing, we get everything we wanted? Trump says we get 99.9% of what we wanted. The Strait of Hormuz is open, toll-free, permanently forever. Iran says no nuclear weapons ever. They're going to stop attacking everyone. And so we won. We got everything we wanted. Peace in the Middle East, a free and open Strait of Hormuz, and no nuclear weapons ever for Iran. These are the main things. But Iran is saying the complete opposite. Iran is saying we forced them to remove the blockade. We literally are going to get all our money back. We're going to get $300 billion in reconstruction funds. And we didn't even have to do anything with nuclear. We didn't have to concede or give them any concessions or anything at all. So we got everything. We got them to surrender, back off, got billions and billions of dollars, and we're not giving them anything. And so this is very interesting because what Iran is saying and what Trump is saying are in complete contradiction. But my theory is maybe this is by design. You see, the IRGC, the leaders in Iran, they speak through their ego. They want money and power. And, weapons gives you a lot of power, but there's another type of power called economic power. And the main deal Trump's been given to all these countries that are trying to pursue nuclear weapons and all that stuff, like North Korea, is you demilitarize, denuclearize, stop pursuing nuclear weapons, and I'll help your economy boom. Trump could easily just release the whole deal and word by word, and then we would know exactly what's in it, right? But why isn't he doing it? He was even asked, just release the deal and we can all see it, we can read it, and then we can determine whether Iran's telling the truth or whether Trump's telling the truth. And he's like, I will in time. In fact, I might even read it word by word, but he hasn't. And I think this is all by design. Iran, they understand power. That's the language that they talk. And Trump's basically saying, okay, you can have your economic power, but you can't have your military power. And so Iran's like, okay. So Trump made a bunch of promises. And I think one of those promises did include some type of reconstruction funds conditional on good behaviors. So if Iran behaves very good, there can be reconstruction funds. And so Iran is literally telling all the people, hey, we got a great deal. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. And the deal's not out yet, so there's nothing to contradict what Iran's saying. So the Iranian people, the Iranian leaders, everyone's very, very happy, right? And now when the Iran deal does come out word for word, and we do find what's in it, it's going to be very hard for Iran to backtrack or get out of the deal because they already told their whole country, we got the best deal ever. So by putting this fog of war, this gray area where Iran gets to exaggerate and say everything's amazing, and Trump gets to say, hey, everything's amazing on my side too, this gives time for Iran to soak into the deal, lock into the deal. And now that they promised the best deal ever for Iran to their country, they can't back out of this deal easily anymore. Even if Israel was to sabotage it at this point, Iran might stick around because they promised that they got the best deal ever. And so to walk out of this deal would make them look not smart. So they're going to stick with this deal. I think this whole fog of war, they said this is by design, specifically because of this quick interview that JD Vance did.
I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon.
So basically he's saying the hardliners, they're exaggerating, and they're doing that because it makes them look good. And so that's basically what I was saying, and it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. But what's going to happen once the deal comes out? And now we read it word by word, and it contradicts a lot of what's happening in Iran. For example, Iran claims in the deal they'll get $300 billion reconstruction fund. And this was asked twice to JD Vance, and he clarified.
Walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation.
Zero of these billions of dollars is coming from your U.S. taxpayer money. Zero. Not a dollar, not a penny. None of this $300 billion is coming from reconstruction funds. This is what was actually promised. If Iran behaves very, very good and stops attacking all their neighbors, then their neighbors, the Gulf state, are willing to invest into Iran to build up their economy. That is all that was promised. The $300 billion number, I think it was thrown out by Team Trump to give Iran some type of victory that they can show their people, look, we got a great victory. We get $300 reconstruction funds. Do I think they actually have $300 billion set aside that they're going to give to Iran as soon as possible, as soon as the deal's signed, which is what Iran's claiming? No. This is just a commitment that Trump makes to every single country that he's trying to demilitarize because they got a crazy leader. We will invest in your economy if you stop being violent, aggressive psychopaths. That's basically the deal. So while the U.S. media is trying to spin this as Trump's paying Iran $300 billion for this deal, he's going to give them $300 billion of taxpayer money. That is so far from the truth. Completely a lie. It's no taxpayer money. There's no promises. There's no commitments. The $300 billion is not even going to be in the deal. And the only thing that was told, from my understanding to Iran, is that the Gulf states will want to invest in Iran, possibly up to $300 billion, if Iran behaves good. It's just a carrot. We'll give you a carrot. We'll give you a reward. If you stop attacking with us, we'll do some trading business with you. Both our economies will grow. That is what this whole $300 billion reconstruction fund is actually about. And so it's not what the media is saying it is. Trump is not paying them money. The most important distinction on this whole deal is this. Iran is claiming they're getting everything almost instantly. Trump is saying we have a long list of rewards we're willing to give them, like removing sanctions, giving some of their money back in phases, even allowing other states Gulf states to invest in that country. But all of it, 100% of it, all these rewards are conditional on Iran behaving extremely well, and they get nothing immediately. In other words, if Iran signs this deal on June 19th and they start demining the Strait of Hormuz, then and only then will they start getting a little bit of sanction relief. Then the naval blockade will slowly start removing. If they attack Israel, they don't demine, if they don't sign, they get nothing. So this is actually best case scenario because Iran's happy about this deal because they're exaggerating about it. Trump's happy about this deal because he gets 99% everything he wants. And every single reward we're giving to Iran is conditional on them behaving extremely good, that is totally fine with me. We're not going to invest any more money into this war. We're not going to give Iran a penny. And this is turning out to be one of the greatest military investments ever. We've probably spent $40 billion on this war. But the benefit is peace in the Middle East, which for me is priceless. I'd be happy spending $250 billion on this war or more if it created peace in the Middle East. And that's what it's going to do. Because if Iran decides to take this deal, which I think they're going to, and keep it and behave good so they can start getting all these rewards, that's going to take out the big terrorists in the region. You know, Iran is basically a proxy for the deep state to cause havoc and mayhem in the Middle East and control the Strait of Hormuz. That proxy will be removed and that Iran will no longer be controlled by the deep state. So that is very, very important. Ultimately, Trump is creating peace in the Middle East. He's got an amazing deal. I think it's going to really hold this time. And we're giving them nothing unless they behave good. And Iran can get a lot of good stuff from other countries, but they have to behave good first. So it's a wonderful deal all around. Let's hear what Grok has to say about this.
This is classic Middle East diplomacy. Both sides spinning the same deal to their own crowds. The $300 billion isn't a cash handout from the U.S. or reparations. It's potential investment from Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and Qatar, facilitated by the U.S., but only if Iran behaves, denuclearizes, stops funding proxies, and acts normal. Trump and Vance keep stressing no American taxpayer money and strict conditions. Iran calls it a reconstruction fund they get. Same with the Strait. Trump says permanently toll-free. Iran hints at service fees for navigation and environment stuff with Oman. It's semantic games to save face. When the full deal drops, probably this week or by Friday's signing, it'll be performance-based. Iran gets phased relief as it hits milestones. It probably won't fall apart. This is the off-ramp both needed after months of fighting. The contradictions are just domestic politics, not a deal breaker. On gas prices, oil's already dropped to around $80 a barrel on the news. Pump prices are easing, but still high. National average around $4 right now. Hitting $50 oil in 30 days? Nah, that's not realistic. Even with the Strait reopening and mines cleared, restocking depleted reserves and rebuilding confidence takes months. Expect gradual relief, not a crash to pre-war lows overnight. Things are moving in the right direction, though.
Yeah, I mean, last time I checked, oil prices were about $75 a barrel. So I see things definitely improving, and I see prices continue to drop rapidly. We may not hit $50 a barrel in the next 30 days, but I see us hitting 60. We're only $15 away from it. And honestly, once the whole Middle East is finally in a state of peace, which is something I predicted at the beginning of this year, I said Trump is going to create peace on some region of the world in 2026. I predicted that, and here he is creating peace in the most violent, terrorist-filled region in the world, the Middle East, with Iran. So very excited about all this stuff. What do you guys think? Is this deal going to hold? Is Israel going to sabotage it? I did a poll with you guys, and half of you said this deal is going to hold. Trump will make it hold. Half of you said that Israel is going to sabotage it. And, you know, my audience is very smart. Those are very logical things. Yes, Trump is very, very good at making this deal, so it makes sense they would believe that. And also, it makes sense people would believe that Israel would sabotage it because Israel's been it looks like they've been sabotaging deal after deal. And I'm a little bit concerned, Grok, with Israel saying that they're not part of this deal and they're not going to be held to this deal and they can attack Lebanon in self-defense. Is it possible that Israel is going to sabotage the deal, and is that going to derail everything?
Oil's already dipped below $78 a barrel on the news, so yeah, we're moving the right way. 60 is possible over the next few months if the Strait fully reopens and stays calm, but it's not guaranteed overnight. On whether the deal holds, Trump's got real leverage here. The deal's phased. Benefits only come if Iran hits milestones. As for Israel, they're not part of it, and they've made that clear. They've said they'll keep operating in Lebanon for self-defense and won't be bound by this. That's the biggest risk right now. If Israel hits too hard, Iran could walk. But Trump seems ready to pressure Netanyahu to cool it. We'll see if that works. That's my take. Exciting times, but fragile. Thanks for having me on, folks. Great show.
So one more thing I wanted to point out is that if Israel, because they've been very resentful and angry about this deal, clearly Bibi Netanyahu does not want peace in the Middle East because he's running for president again or whatever, and he wants to be the leader of Israel for a long time. And to win his campaign, being in a war helps. So he wants the war to continue so it can make him look good. Oh, I'm so tough. I'm defending us against the bad guys. But the reality is this is something that he really should back off and let us have peace in the Middle East. We all need it. I think it's all going to work out great. I appreciate you guys listening to this. hear me out. A lot of supporters putting comments, likes, and it does make a big difference. So thank you for the likes, the comments, the support during this time. I'm trying to put a lot of good content, and I thought this video was excellent because it really explains exactly what is going on, what Iran's saying, what Trump's saying, and where the middle ground actually is, and clears up the whole $300 billion reconstruction fund, which is a big lie. The media, the U.S. media is pushing right now. Oh, Trump paid $300 billion for Iran to get a deal. You know, no, that's now you know that's a lie. And if someone says that, you can debunk it quickly. Thank you guys. I think this is gonna work out great. I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.